Back in 1992, the Government of Canada designated October as Women's History Month, marking the beginning of an annual month-long celebration of the outstanding achievements of women and girls throughout Canadian history. And I thought, what better way than to celebrate women's history by meeting with the women who are making history in our riding now. And this morning we'll be talking with Johanne Brosseau, who is a city councillor in the city of North Bay and the chair of community services. Good morning, Johanne.
Good morning, Anthony.
This is your first term on council. How are you finding it, and where are the challenges, and what do you really find gets you going in the morning?
To be honest, I didn't think I was going to like it this much. I am one. I get involved. It's all or nothing. So I do get involved. I do my research and I do talk to people regarding different point of views before I make decisions. So and right away, I had some really good coaches and advisors throughout my campaign, and I've kept in touch with them. And one of the things is I've learned right off the bat, it's not my opinion that counts. It's what the people are telling me, who I'm representing. So it was hard to find, but I do have a good group of ladies too that kind of keep me grounded. I don't think I have much of an ego, and if I do, I left it at the swearing-in ceremony in 2019. Okay, and that's where it is, because I'm here to serve and to help and to hopefully do some positive in North Bay. And to see change happening. And it's so exciting because I am seeing change happen. It might be small steps, but with a few programs that the staff has implemented and that now we're executing, I'm actually seeing the landscape of North Bay will change. Because people will think that we can do anything. And you're probably even worse.
Being an elected official, I know exactly what you mean. I wish I had half the power people think we have.
Yeah, and so sometimes you say, yeah, but we can't execute what BC's doing because it's not the Ontario Municipal Act. We have to work within a structure, and sometimes Northern Ontario is different from Southern Ontario, like with their social services. Except for Sudbury, the whole system is different, and we have to work within the tools and the laws or the rules that Toronto gives us.
People ask me often, how do you get elected or how do you get into politics? And I usually recommend, well, get involved with stuff. And I notice that your background, especially in volunteerism, maybe you can talk a little bit about your background in volunteering and what it means to you.
I started at the Y, probably I was about 14 years old. I was always a pool rat, and an older person just said, hey, you want to help me with my swim class? So she ended up making me go in the water and help her demonstrate. And that kind of gave me the bug of helping out. And it's funny because in those days, when I wanted to volunteer to be on the executive of this club, what do they typically do to a woman who walks into a room with 10 men and they say, hey, you can be secretary. So I smiled and nodded, and I was secretary for a year, and then became, later on, moved up the ranks. I did all the positions all the way to president in that club. So I kind of broke the stereotype there. A few years later, there was a price increase with the service fees at my Caisse Populaire. So I thought, well, I'm going to find out what this is all about. I'm going to join the board, and I'm going to stop these price increases. I joined the board, and I learned why there were price increases, and there was logical reasons for it. But that was a really good thing, because anytime you volunteer, it's a two-way street. Not only do you give your time, but you gain knowledge. And that's what the Caisse Populaire for me was the best thing, to learn how to look at facts, look at numbers, and make decisions based on those facts, and also to create systems. And whatever I learned at the Caisse that they did, I applied to my own business. So with my business, again, you're saying I threw in, my passion was in it. And like a lot of typical entrepreneurs, you lose your job and you are a technical person. So I was a pattern maker, a fashion designer by trade, learned that in Ottawa. And then I learned to become a business person by the mistakes I did or by courses that I took. and that's how my business grew and got more successful.
And I remember your business, Création Unique, was that was the place to go if you were either a seamstress or someone aspiring to be someone who could put a thread through a needle. That was the place to go for advice and find out what was going on.
Yeah, I sold a dream. I sold my passion, and a lot of people adopted my passion in town. And by the June 2018, I started to focus on just getting elected and being on council. So
Perfect,
yeah, so that was it.
That's great. I mean, you can see how it all built up. But I mean, one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, your passion is what comes out. And I know what it is. You get involved in something before you know it, it takes over your life, and it is your life. But
I'm doing it again.
You're doing it again, exactly.
but
it's best to be who you are, though. I think that's probably one of the best things. Oh, perfect. And one of the things I've noticed, I mean, you obviously graduated from École secondaire Algonquin, and alors tu parles français aussi, c'est quelque chose qui aide beaucoup, puis c'est quelque chose qui est très important parce que avoir quelqu'un qui est bilingue sur le conseil est important aussi. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qui vous aide?
Oui. Être bilingue, parler français est très important. Puis même en ce moment, je suis sur le comité local en immigration francophone pour North Bay. Alors, on essaie d'attirer des immigrants francophones à venir vivre dans notre ville qu'on aime tant. Et puis aussi, je préside le même comité, mais en anglais. Et aussi là, on essaie d'avoir beaucoup de francophones qui venir s'installer à North Bay. Alors, ça c'est important, oui.
Parfait. If you had to give advice to any women out there who are thinking of being elected to council or running for any position, what advice would you give them?
First of all, I would say, like you said at the beginning, volunteer on boards. Get the experience of of how boards operate and be comfortable with board meetings. The one thing I would say right now is go to Facebook and like Politics Now. Politics Now was formed by a lady in Sudbury, her main purpose is to have more female elected at different government levels, and she runs little webinars and seminars and basically becomes your cheerleader when it comes time to campaign. You can do it. You can do what you want to do, but you just have to know you can't do everything all at once. Like for me, if you look at it, it was a 20-year process for others, but only you can decide how much you can do. And as long as you understand you need that support group around you to keep you healthy, to keep you balanced, keep your family, or if you have children, give them all their needs. If it's not from you, let it be from your sister or from somebody in your group, but you do need that in the group to keep you grounded and to keep you healthy.
Perfect.
And go for it.
That's great advice for anyone wanting to get into politics. So, Johanne, I want to thank you for being with us this morning and talking about your experience and your history. And I'm sure anybody watching will be inspired by your journey. And I want everyone to remember that October is Canadian Women's History Month. And let's not only remember the women who got us where we are now, but the women who are getting us to the future, like Johanne, and women who are working hard with us today. Again, thank you very much, Johanne, and it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks a lot, Anthony.